Hello everybody, this is Tarina. I am very excited to get started on the Spruced Up card making workshop. It is, I love these cards, and I love the paper collection, and I love how easy they are to put together. So I kind of did a little bit of cheat, and I made some kits up for my customers and for some of my customers, my regular customers, and while doing that, I made up just little kits for me too, so that I can complete them without taking up too much of your guys' time. But you can find this collection here, if I can find it. There we go. Right here in the January, February Close to My Heart catalog. This is a supplemental catalog, and as you can see, when you buy the kit, you get the stamp set and the thin cuts along with all of the supplies to make 4 of each of these cards. So of course, you will need things like the Mink exclusive stamp pad, dull green tri-blend marker, julep ink pad, the pale pink marker, tri-blend marker, the intense black exclusive ink pad, and 3D foam tape. Those are things that if you have them already, obviously no worries, right? So anyways, so yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do some of it with you guys. So I have already cut all of the pieces, so I don't need to use these cutting instructions. I do need to stamp the large flower, because I'm going to be starting from left to right. I'm going to be doing this card here, so I will need to stamp the sentiment, the banner, the vase, and the florals with you guys, and I will also need to stamp this stamp across the top here. So I'm going to go ahead and get those done with you guys. So this is the Spruced Up card making workshop, and I just love that you could definitely stamp this multiple times along with the florals and mix and match them on a layout, because this is technically a big enough sprig that you could definitely do that. So that is it will work for cards, and it would also work for scrapbooking as well, or mixed media would be gorgeous as well. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and stamp out my floral first. Put it in the corner. And I'm going to go ahead and put my wrist on the stamp so that it stamps nicely, and we're going to go ahead and do that in intense black. It is a water resistant ink, so it doesn't bleed the ink, which is one of the things that I love. They now have refills for this, so I'm excited about that as well. That's definitely going on my list of things to get. I definitely need to do a supply run list, a supply run as far as Close to My Heart stuff goes. Not just the pretty stuff, but the stuff that I use all the time, like the intense black ink. And that is pretty nice. I'm going to go over it a second time and see how well the second stamping will make it. Hopefully it doesn't mess it up. If it does, I'll just flip it over and use the back side. So we'll see. Fingers crossed it does it perfect. Perfect. Yes. Okay. Awesome. So that is that. I'm gonna set that aside. It only needs to dry for like like a minute, maybe 60 seconds, something like that. It's really not that long. And then I will need, let's see here. I'm going to use this one. I'm going to spritz this off first and find my rag, which I need a different rag. I really want to get the No Mess chamois from Close to My Heart. They have them from multiple different companies, but Hey, I'm a consultant, might as well, right? Support myself. I'm going to be buying something anyways. And then we need this in the, I believe it's in the black as well. Yes, it is. I'm going to go ahead and stamp that. Is pretty much perfect, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to spritz this rag instead of spritzing the stamp, and then I'm just going to wipe that off. Clean it up nicely and put that back, and then this one, I think this one is supposed to be in mink. Nope. It's supposed to be in julep. Now the question is, will it fit on this piece of paper? So we shall see. I think it will. Yes. Okay, now I just hope that I can do it right the first try, right? I've got a hair on there. I want to give enough of a border for the die cutting, so ooh, that's perfect the first time. That's awesome. Now the trick with getting these to not, kind of warp is to just gently lay them down. Like when you put them down on the paper, you just want to let them fall so that they fall in their shape instead of, manipulating their, because if I place it down and I move it, sometimes it will stay in one place. Like if I put it on here and I straighten it out, you can kind of end up with a straightened banner, which is a technique that you could, apply to other projects too, if you wanted to. And now this one is going to say hello friend, and I think that's up here at the top. Yes. Now when you stamp words, you definitely want to make sure that you have them like completely in your paper, completely in the corner. So I'm trying to see, these were made for this banner, so I want to make sure it's right in the middle, like that. And if you have this in the corner when you put that stamp on there, then you could just put it back in the corner when you're ready to stamp, and it will always stamp in the right place. So unless it moves, of course. I'm going to go ahead and use my intense black. Going to put that down like that, and I think that's probably good. Do some cleaning. Now make sure you do not inhale when you spritz that cleaner. It's not like insanely bad for you, it's very strong and it makes you cough. It definitely makes me cough. So now we can go ahead and set these aside, set the stamping stuff aside. Oh wait, nope, I've got one more to do. Now I'm not sure exactly how I want to do this. Before I stamped it with this, which might be a technique to show you guys. Let's see here. Okay, So we're going to go ahead and use this, and I'll show you how I do it. If I can remember how I do it, how I did it. So if you look at the photo, I'm going to do a close-up version of this. Okay, so we're going to do this project number 2 first, evidently. So right here, you have these little arrows that go across. So I want to see how far down that needs to be. Oh, I'm not done with the stamping. Silly me. We also have to do this piece here. Okay, so we need this to be right in line with this. So we're going to do, let's see, where's my pink piece? No. Well, evidently I didn't cut my pink piece. Interesting. I could swear I had all of my pieces ready. Live and learn, live and learn. I knew I had to go back through them. I just forgot to do it. So I'm wondering if this is it. And that should be a 2A. Let's see the instructions. What is that? Oh, that's my stamp. 2A. 2A. 2A should be 3/4 by 5 1/4. So let's see. Oh boy. Nope, stay in. I'm making a mess over here. 3/4 by 5 1/4. Pretty sure that's 5 1/4. Yes, by 3/4. Yes, it is. That is definitely my piece. That was easy. Just had it sitting over in the wrong spot. Okay, so we're going to measure. In the image, it shows that there's a little white border around all 3 sides. So we're going to go ahead and line these up to where they have a little white border. And it doesn't matter what order you have them in, because you're just trying to get the height of these things. So, and then we've got one more. No way. That one's bigger, which means that's for a different one. Is that the bigger one? Same size. Okay, I need to fix that. So 2D. See, I knew I should have looked at this. 2D, I am doing some of the cutting for you guys. Wait, what now? 2D. Oh, 2D, 1.5 by 5 1/4. That's not a cutter, is it? 1.5. So when I sent my packs out, I like triple checked them to make sure they had everything. But I wasn't too worried about mine because I was going to go through them and double check, and then now I'm in a hurry and blah 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 blah. Life happens. So we're going to go with 5 1/4, and that is 5 1/4. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and stick this back on here. That is one thing that's kind of awesome, is that you can just check your instructions and see what sizes you need. If you make a mistake, or if you want to use a different paper pack, you can do that. Okay, so this is the height that we need it to be, and we are only going, oh no, we go all the way across. Okay, so we go all the way across from like here ish to here ish. So you just want it to be, I hope that makes sense. You want it to be kind of, you still want it to have that white border on there. So I'm going to try to see if I can get that as close as I can without having it crooked. And then pull these off of here. Looks like a pretty straight line. Cool. Okay, so the way that I did this was, and let me see if I can do this. I'm going to move the card left to right and not the stamp. So we're using julep. And I'm going to go ahead and stamp here. And there's my first stamping. Then I'm going to scoot it over, and it doesn't really matter which direction you go, but you definitely want to scoot it so that it's just about in line with that one. Stamp that down, and you can just continue the pattern without having to do too much work. Once you get to the side here, you just lift it up over the edge. If you just have the card making size, like that. Like so, and then I'm going to go ahead and do a couple more. It probably would have been easier to just start from here and then go over. Had I thought about that, I would have done it, but I didn't think about it at the time. So here I am. So I am going to go ahead and kind of wipe this stamp off, and I only want to use like 3 or 4 of these. So I'm going to go ahead and tape these ones off. I think we're going to go with 3 would be perfect. That. Just go ahead and block those off so they're not getting it inked on. And then we're going to go ahead and move this over to where it needs to be, like so. And we're going to ink it. Ink these 3 arrows. And then we'll pull this off, and then we'll just bring this down right there. And there it is. It got a little bit of that one, but that's okay. I'm not too worried about it. And then we'll just go ahead and continue the other direction. Now, one of the things that you can do is you can set it up to start right where you want it to start, and then go over, you know, from left to right or right to left, your choice, whichever direction you want to go. As long as it's in a straight line, it doesn't much matter. Now we are going to have a floral bouquet here, right in the center here, so you can either leave that or you can just scoot it over and add some arrows there. Sometimes I've even got them to line up to where the arrows look like they are meant to be in those particular places, like that. It double stamps, but they still line up. So that is a technique you can add across there if you don't mind, like some random double stamp colors in there. It works. I don't really mind it myself, but clean off my stamp, put it on the carrier sheet. I cannot believe I remembered what that was called. That is insane. We're not done yet. However, this particular stamping is going to be a little bit different than normal. So what we're going to do is we're going to put the vase on the stamp block. And you could technically do it on that. I just figure it's easier to do it on this. Now this is where the mink comes in. This is you're going to ink up your flower vase, and you're going to stamp it in the center here, like so. And then you're going to flip it over. You're going to ink it, flip it over, and stamp right next to that, like that. Ink, flip. I mean, you could totally flip and ink, but. And that way it gives you a design on your vanilla cardstock without having to do, you know, find another piece of pattern paper. Gives it its own unique look. Okay. And that would be the mink. And now we're going to go ahead and, we're going to go ahead and cut some of these out. So I don't need to cut that. I don't need to cut that, but I do need to cut these. So I'm going to go ahead and set that aside. And this, I'm going to bring over my tattered Big Shot because that's what I've got. One day I'll replace it, but not yet. It's doing good for me so far. I haven't even replaced the plates. I totally could replace the plates, but I haven't yet. Okay, so I'm going to do the floral. And I'm going to grab a piece of tape that's not inked because I don't want to mess up my image. And we're just going to go ahead and line this up to the best of our abilities. Ooh, that was pretty darn close. Like so. And then we're going to go ahead and run this through. And I totally could have done this in one pass, all of this, but I didn't. You can put them all on one piece of paper, or one pass through. And there you go. Now that's perfect and ready for coloring. Alright, so I think I'm going to use another piece so we can have two. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and put that down, and then we're going to go ahead and do that to this one up here. And you want to make sure that you turn it the right direction because this one is not, I don't remember what the word is. It's not the same on both ends. Like they didn't just flip the image and connect it. It's actually, you know, just drawn, which is kind of awesome. I can't do things like that, so I really like mine. I mean, I can, but it doesn't turn out how I want it to be. So I always just, like when I do an image like that, I always design it on my programs, and where I can just flip, you know, draw half of it, flip it, and attach it, and then it's like identical. So on both ends. Okay. And that is all that we need as far as die cutting for this card. Set those aside, and there we go. Now we can go ahead and assemble our card. Actually, I need to color. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and color this. I'm using the Tri-Blend Spectre Noir Pale Pink blend. Oh, if I could actually show you, that'd be great. There we go. Tri-Blend. It's got 3 colors. We've got light, PP1, PP2, and PP3. Now we are also using dull green, DG1, DG2, and DG3. And there's 3 colors in each of these markers. So I will speed this up for you guys, I think, so it doesn't take quite so long. What I'm going to do is I am not going to use the dark, the DG3. I'm only going to use the light and the mid. And so I'm going to go over. So let's see. I'm going to go ahead and do this leaf. I'm going to go over my leaf with the light. And then I'm going to go in with my mid and just kind of add some shading. so. And then you can go over, for a nice blend, you can go over the green again and it blends it in. You don't have to, but you can. So I'm going to go ahead and do all of these. It really doesn't take all that long as far as the greens go, and you don't have to shade everything. In fact, you don't have to shade anything if you don't want to. I like to, but now Spectrum Noir does offer these. Now if you get this while it's wet, it kind of blends in as it dries as well, so that's something to think about. Just do the bases. All of these colors that they offer in the Tri-Blend markers are actually offered in full-on markers as well. So that is something to consider. If you like a combination, you can definitely get the markers. Well, they don't actually sell them like individually. They come in what is it, bundles? So I have used Spectrum Noir before. I have several of their markers, and I've loved them. I just love their quality. It's not as high a quality as Copics, but for the cost, it is a great value. So I am just going through these like this and pretty much doing the same technique. I don't need to, do anything fancy. Quick is just fine. I mean, you can see kind of how I'm doing this. So that is the green part. I'm done with the greens. And now I'm going to go ahead and do the pinks. Now the pinks, I am going to go ahead and I'm going to do the light all over the flower, and then I'm going to go in with the dark. I'm pretty much doing the same exact thing, but instead of using the light and the mid, I'm going to use the light and the dark. Now you could use all three if you want. It's kind of a small image, so I mean, I don't think you get as much blend as you would if, using all three as you would when you are using a larger, like coloring a larger flower. So I generally, with a smaller image, I tend to just gravitate towards two colors. And so you could definitely use the mid and the dark, or the light and the mid if you wanted to. I think the light and the mid might be a little too close to the same color, or hue, hint, tint, whatever. But let's see, which color, which flowers. So all of the little flowers stay white, and we're just doing the pink roses. Okay, we can do that. So again, I'm going to go in, and then I'm going to grab the dark and go over this, just where the shadows would be. They kind of have it all planned out for you too, so you don't have to worry too much about it. doesn't really look like much now, but the more you get it colored in, the more it will look like a flower. Let's see, we've got darks here. And I'm not sure exactly how that one's situated in there, but I'm going to do this dark all over that one. A little bit down behind. And these are the last two petals. Now, I am going to go ahead and do the rest of these off camera so that you guys are not having to wait through everything. Oh. Interesting. I have never experienced that before. I'm not sure what's going on. Okay, so that's that one, and I will go ahead and get the rest done, and I will be right back. Okay, so I went ahead and completed those three, and there we have it. Now, you can definitely go over it again if you want it to be a little bit darker. I am perfectly fine with the light color. It goes perfectly with that. So I'm going to go ahead and get started on making the card. So let's see what we have here. That is, it's somewhere here. Okay, so we have the card front with our stamping across the front. We need to put our pink down. You're going to go lighter up with the pink. How did I get blue glitter on my thing? Interesting. I don't remember ever using blue glitter, but it must have been a child of some sort. Okay, so now we're going to go with the white, or the vanilla piece, and just stack that on top. And then we go with the striped piece here. I don't know if it's gonna work. We're gonna try it, I guess. Evidently. And go ahead and stack that on top, making sure to line up the ends if possible. And then we'll do this one here. Oh, and of course I ran out of, let's see, oh, well, I guess I'll be doing this too. Okay, so I'm back. Got this replaced. Just hope it does well. It should. Still got glitter. I really don't know where this glitter came from, but it's kind of interesting. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and put this here, and look at that. That stamping is perfect. Yay! 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 I love when it actually works out right. I'm not sure exactly what that was for, but it's gonna go over to the side. And then we've got this to put down. It says attach bouquet and banner. Attach base accent as shown. Okay. Alright. And then it says to attach as shown. which would be like there. Sure, why not? I have no idea if it's supposed to be there or lower or what. And then this goes up here like so. And that's supposed to be a 3D foam tape, so I went and snuck me some out here. I used 3M foam tape. I like the Close to My Heart one as well. However, this is more cost effective for me, and I can get more Close to My Heart things. I think I might have just cut my nail. Oh well. I can get more Close to My Heart goodies and enjoy my crafting more if I, you know, save on certain things. So I definitely do that. Okay, so this is going to go up here like so, and we're just going to go ahead and put it right there. Okay, that's easy enough. And then it says to put this on foam as well. So I'm going to see what I've got over here. Okay, and then we'll peel those off. So altogether, I think each one of these cards should only take, like, once you have everything cut and stamped, probably about a half hour. Okay, so then that goes pretty much right there. And then it takes four little blings, which I'm going to go ahead and do here. And right up here, this little guy. Alright. And we are done with this card. That is it. That is a great way to make a quick card. Now, another thing that you can do is you can take this, or you can take anything from the stamp set, and you can stamp on the card too, and make and decorate the card as well, or this, not the card, the envelope. You can decorate the envelope. You can also, if you wanted to stamp inside the card, you could do that as well. Oh, I've got a sticky down here. For those of you who don't know, but are interested, this is a sticky eraser, or sticker remover eraser, pretty much. I don't know exactly what they have it called, but it removes sticky, and I love it. I really do. I really love it. So this is the card. Whoa, 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 I'm zoomed in still. Okay, this is for well, technically this is project number 2. I am only doing, I don't know, I'm just doing them. This one's, like it says, the project number 2 in the Spruced Up Workshop Your Way kit from Close to My Heart. I'll have the link in the description box below. You can visit my website, hellotarina.closetomyheart.com, and you can purchase this. So like I said, I'll have the link in the description box below if you're interested. And I will see you in the next video, which will be one of these two. I think probably that one, because I'm going left to right. So I will see you then. Thanks for watching. Bye.